What's good, everybody? This your boy D Money, and this is another episode of Drip Talk, episode 8, season 2. And what we're going to talk about today is 10 reasons why you should not start a clothing business. And I wanted to first and foremost say on this video, this is not to discourage anybody on starting a new business, but at the same time, I want to bring out some factual and realistic things to think about before you start that business, and also to consider actually building a career instead of just trying to do something for more money. So stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe this video and share it with your friends and, of course, your family members, and keep visualizing your personal purpose. The whole topic is 10 reasons why you should not start a clothing business, whether it be fashion, whether it be in styling, whether it be in, just any aspect of clothing, tailoring, whatever. But the fact of you starting your own business, that's the main thing in this whole thing. So first and foremost, when you're starting your own business, you have to be consistent, like a TV channel. And people don't get that. See, when you're posting on social media, you have to post just about almost every hour of the day. Your channel cannot be off, or at least not every hour of the day, but at least enough times to where it lasts you throughout the whole day and rolls into the next day. Because see, when people are watching your content, they're watching to see what's new, what's informative, what's relatable to them, and how can it improve their lives. See, even when they're buying clothes, they're looking for a style that expresses the way that they're living or expresses the way that they want to live. So if you're not consistent in showing people how your style, the way your clothes bring out some type of life into their lives, they're not going to stay tuned. And then on top of that, you're not going to want to be consistent because you're going to feel like people are not, engaged in what you're, doing. So you're not going to see those immediate results, and especially when you first get started. And it's going to, kind of hit your pride. Because even for me, it did the same thing. I would post every day, and then I'd probably get 1 or 2 likes, and that's if I didn't like, the content from my other pages for myself. And kind of discourages you from continuing to post. But as I kept going, and then on top of that, people started to show me love for the actual work I had outside of social media, because I would do pop-up shops, and also I would wear my clothes on a consistent basis to where people would be like, "Oh, that's fire," and then I'd be like, "I designed it." "Oh, you designed that? That's fire." Like, I could see myself wearing it because you're wearing it. See, that's another thing too. People don't promote their stuff like they will wear it themselves. That's number 2. Promote your things like you wear it yourself. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people will start wearing, the same shit that they was wearing yesterday. Like, the Coco Chanel or the fucking Nikes or Jordans that, you typically will wear. But if you have a clothing brand, why are you wearing those brands? You're promoting those brands. You're not promoting your own. So how are people going to know about your brand? That's free advertisement right there, promoting your clothes. As you can see in this video, I have my own clothes on. Like, this is a bomber jacket from our Battle Royale Part 2 collection. I am the wave, don't need a short. This is our men's bombers. We also got women's bombers. But at the same time, you see me wearing my own clothes. A lot of people don't ever wear their own gear because they're too shy and unsure of people's opinions, that they feel that they should still keep wearing some fly shit, quote unquote, that they think is, within their style, but it's just something somebody else created for a different person, not necessarily your ethnicity, and you're promoting their brand without promoting your brand. So you're making them money without making you any money. That's number 2. Number 3 is it takes a lot of money to not even just make the products, but also to promote it, and then also to have adequate equipment to keep promoting the product and to make sales. For example, in order to do a pop-up shop, cost me about $1,500 just so that way I can promote the pop-up shop. That's number 1. Then I have to get the venue space, or I have to rent a table or venue spaces. Then on top of that, I have to get the product. Now, this also depends on how you make your product as well, but in that aspect, whether you do it, on your own or you're going to the manufacturer, you still gotta, budget for how many items you're gonna have, or units of items that you're gonna have at the pop-up shop. And then, like I said, you gotta promote it, so you gotta advertise, whether you get business cards, flyers, you're doing social media ads, TV ads, whatever. Still costs money. So just to do one pop-up shop, it cost me $1,500. To do a photo shoot cost me just over a stack. So you really gotta think about these things when you are starting a business. And then not even to promote the product, you gotta start off with making the product. And you hear about on social media people giving strategies about how you can start off a brand with no money. Yeah, you can start the brand, but in actually making sales with $0 to start, that's not possible. Now, maybe, if you got like $20 or $100, where you can get a couple of, t-shirts or whatever, yeah, that makes sense. You can actually start a side hustle, doing that. But when you actually got to buy, your LLC and, the different materials for the products that you're getting ready to make, then you got to, buy the screen printing machine if you're going to do it yourself, or you got to go to the manufacturer, and then you got to put up front costs. Or even if they're going to do back end, you're still going to have some money in order to, fund those orders. And then on top of that, you got to ship out the orders. So there's always money that it's going to take for you to make these products. And that's something that you have to strategize for when you're getting ready to do certain things within your business, even when you're collaborating with other people. And that's going to lead me into number 4, where you always have to be organized. Because see, when you're collaborating, what people don't understand is there's an open door for people to see your business, just like you're letting people in your house. So for me personally, I don't like to do any collaborations unless I really know you or you're my best friend. Now, you will see some collaborations happening in the beginning of the year for us. Like I said on the Unpackaged video and our IG Live updates, we will be bringing back a lot of fashion, and we'll be doing a podcast. So with that, you will see some of my friends in different fields collaborating with Dreams of Rulers because they have their own businesses as well. And we want to go up together. So you will be seeing my friends, Chef Shiz. He has a at-home catering business where he even works in different restaurants and cooks for them. He does private dinners for families and romantic dinners like that. Definitely check him out on IG. But yeah, you always got to be organized. You always got to be ready for the next thing coming, because shoot, at the end of the year, you're gonna have to do taxes. Probably even for each quarter, depending on what type of business you have. And then on top of that, you're gonna wanna keep those receipts so that way you don't have to pay out for taxes. You can really be saving some money for your business. Then on top of that, even, just so that way you can get grants and different things of that sort for your business. You're gonna want to keep paperwork in line so that way, when you do have to answer certain questions, you have everything right in front of you. So that's very important. Remain organized. Now we're gonna go into the next step, which is you have to be creative. And I say you have to be creative, not necessarily with your designs, but more so in your promotion. See, me personally, how I promote my brand is I might use the same type of content to repost, but at times I'll even change that same type of video with the same product and make another video. So that way it doesn't look the same for everybody that's watching. Now they'll be able to recognize the product, but at the same time, it won't feel like, oh, I just seen this joint yesterday. Like, that's the type of creativity that you have to have. Because people have to see things at least 7 times before they actually like it. Unless they're influenced. And since you're a brand new brand, a brand new business, and you may not have anybody influencing but yourself, you're gonna have to keep promoting your stuff on a consistent basis in a very creative way in order for people to start attracting attention to your brand and start engaging and then start to buy. This is the marketing process. So definitely you gotta be creative. And then with your designs, you gotta be creative in the sense of storytelling. A lot of people don't know how to tell a story, let alone how to create art that tells a story. Whether it be in music, fashion, painting, whatever. But so number 6 is no shortcuts. It's just that simple. Everybody has that get rich scheme, that one thing you need to do in order to make $1 million on social media, all that extra shit, that's a scam. Like, there's no overnight successes. There's nobody that has ever fucking just gone up off of one single thing or 2-3 single things. Like, it's a whole process. Like, this takes time. I've been in business for 4+ years, going into 5 in May. I already know, like, there's no way. Like, it's just that simple. Like, a simple business, regardless of what industry you're in, it takes 5 years for your business to be established in that industry. Then it takes another 5 years for you to start building success for that business and the brand itself. Like, it's not easy. It's not a simple process. It takes time, strategy, discipline, and consistency on a daily basis in order for you to obtain success over time. That's why they say long money versus short money. If you want to do short money, go do a 9-to-5. Or a side hustle, something like that where you can get instant cash, you know what I'm saying? And it's only gonna last for a temporary period of time. But if you want long money, that is a business, that is a career, that is a craft, that is something that you implement, you do on your own for the most part. I mean, you can build a team and, you know, it's all on you at the end of the day, but it's long money. And it's a process, and it's going to take years. It's not going to take a day, a week, or a month. It's going to take years. Number 7. Now this one I like the most because it's about managing other people. See, a lot of times people have a hard time managing themselves in their day-to-day lives. But then you have to go in when you have a business and manage multiple people's lives. Not just saying like, you know, you're gonna tell them what to do and how they should brush their teeth and shit like that. No, but more so in the sense of like the routine that everybody that is working with you, what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it, that's all on you. And you gotta make it happen. You gotta help people visualize the vision that you have in your head for your brand and your business. And that's very hard and difficult because a lot of times people are lazy, they procrastinate a lot, and they always want to do shit on their time, especially when they feel like they're running shit. So it's always good to get positive, hardworking people around you. It's hard to find because it's dime in a dozen. That's why they say diamonds are unbreakable, and they're so expensive because it's hard to find. So that's a hard thing to do, is to find people and to get them to do what you need them to do on a consistent basis. Number 8, you have to make people like what you're selling. And I'm not necessarily have to make them, but you got to get them to be able to see what you're making on a consistent basis, so that way they get interested and then start to engage, and then that's when they start to buy. But that also takes a process, and it's not something that happens the first day. Maybe a couple, maybe one or just a few people, but you're not gonna get a multitude of people to like your shit in one day. Because first of all, everybody in the world can't see it immediately. And social media is a hindrance in itself because they funnel so many pictures on a day-to-day basis. So how are they gonna focus on your one picture for the world to see? You just gotta think about that. Number 9, your mistakes can hurt you. It's a process that, you gotta do content research on. You got to do constant research on the clothing industry, what people like, how they, wear their clothes, the different styles that are out there, the different changes that are going to be made and that have been made. Like, you got to create the hype. Your product's got to be fire. Your ideas got to line up with the product and what the customer wants. So when you're in a creative process, most times people can't come up with just something natural for them that everybody's gonna like. Now, don't get me wrong, it may be fire, but only a couple of people might like it. It may not be a multitude. So yeah, you might be able to still make money, but at the same time, you're not gonna be able to make a multitude of money because the world sees it the same and everybody doesn't see everything the same. Number 10, your customers' emergencies. Now, when you're starting out a business, you don't have ample money to just be refunding people products because the products cost money, regardless if you're making it on your own or if you're going to the manufacturer. If you're making it on your own, it took money to buy that screen print machine, to buy those t-shirts, the materials, to make the denim pants, whatever, however you're getting it. But at the end of the day, it's going to take money and it's going to cost you when you got to refund those products, if you have to refund those products. So in that sense, you got to be on point. Then on top of that, how the customers might complain, it might be explicit, it might be, hurtful. You can't go off on the customer because the customer is who's going to bring you reviews and sales, and also spread that word of mouth of how good your product is. So, and then on top of that, you got to worry about shipping. And a lot of times, the manufacturer or drop shipping company you're working with may not be on point. You got to deal with that mistake. And then your customer is involved at that same point, so you got to deal with them. So you also got to come up with ways in order to make sure that your customer is happy when things do go wrong, because they will go wrong. Because everything is not perfect and everything won't be perfect. So you got to prepare for the uncontrollables. That's why it's real hard to start your own business. And a lot of times when you're going in, to start a business with the mindset of, hey, I just want to make a lot of money, or, I don't want to, work at a 9 to 5 because I don't want to take orders from somebody else, or, you've seen somebody else making $1 million in like 3 days and you're like, shit, I can do it too. Yeah, you can do it, But at the same time, do you fully understand what it took for that person to make $1 million in 3 days? Because at the end of the day, it took them a whole process to get to those 3 days. They had to promote their product. They had to make their product. They had to go through times of where that product didn't work out. And they had to revamp and rebrand that product in order for it to be better. So definitely take these 10 reasons in consideration to, the process of how much it takes in order to run a business, in order to run a clothing brand, to run a clothing business in general, or any business in general. Like, it's real hard, man. And a lot of times, even the brand ambassadors, the models, the customers, they take for granted the work that the brands put in, the designers they put in, the people behind the scene, like the videographers, photographers, they put in, the graphic designers, things of that sort. But it's all taken for granted because we see people saying, things or running scams of where they're telling you can do things in 1 day. Like, yeah, you can do it in 1 day, but it all leads to you doing multiple things before you get to that 1 day or those multiple days of success. So make sure you take the time, research, do your homework, full homework. Make sure you get ample details on the products, the way you're going to promote, the strategy that you can implement into how you can be successful, and execute. Be consistent, be disciplined, and don't get discouraged by what people think or say. Just stay true to you, authentic to how your brand should be and the message that you want to put out there, and it will be successful. But don't let the simple fact that somebody else is saying it can go one way be the end all be all for you. Visualize your purpose and make sure you like and subscribe this channel and this content, and let us know in the comments what videos you want to see in the future. I appreciate everybody that's viewed.